Welcome back. Breaking news last week, the US government had a genius idea. Let's make it harder for domestic violence survivors to stay safe. Yep, $811 million in federal grants gone. Canceled, vamoosed, because clearly shelters, legal aid, counseling, and safe visitation centers were just optional. Clackamas Women's Services in Oregon is losing most of its budget. You know, just the folks who run a Camp Hope America for kids who witnessed abuse. But I'm sure trauma can wait until the next fiscal year, right kids? Can we pause the childhood trauma support group until finance gets back to us? In Wisconsin, Embrace, a domestic violence shelter, had to lay off staff and stop sexual assault services. Mariposa Center in Colorado, losing its only safe custody exchange space for parents and kids. Want to do something that's not totally depressing? Check out shelters' wish lists on domesticshelters.org. If you're able, you can send them self-care items, bedding, and a sense of hope. Meanwhile, over in Nebraska, a woman named Nikki Fitch was severely assaulted by her boyfriend Nathan Creel, resulting in a brain bleed, a punctured lung, and facial fractures. The perpetrator had already served 60 days in jail for beating her the year prior. Not shockingly, this didn't deter him. And finally, in Miami, a 24-year-old mother was brutally murdered by her ex-boyfriend who had been stalking her since their breakup. Police found Maria Camila Garcia Molina stabbed to death in her car, while her 3-year-old daughter wandered around the complex covered in dried blood. The ex, Joy Chandra Nath, told cops he was just there to return her stuff. They didn't buy it and promptly arrested him. Stalking, by the way, is a major red flag, not a wooing technique. Rom-coms have steered us wrong, but since most victims don't report stalking and society tends to downplay it, we end up here far too often. Friendly reminder, stalking increases the risk of being killed by an intimate partner by 300%. You can find links to the GoFundMe pages for both Nikki and Maria in this week's headline article up on domesticshelters.org, because if our government won't keep women and kids safe, it's literally up to everyone else. Stay informed about the epidemic of violence against women by following domesticshelters.org here on the socials, and visit domesticshelters.org for a multitude of resources, support, and people who believe you.